I spotted my soon-to-be ex-wife around the corner of the parking lot as she was walking towards me for the first time since we broke up. When she noticed me waiting for her at the entrance to the cafe, I noticed a faint tremor in her gait. I gave her a disarming smile and said hello as she came even closer. We met at the entrance and walked inside. After a brief greeting, I directed her to a busy table by the window where a rather large and trim man our age was sitting. "April, this is my longtime friend Sean. Sean, this is my April, my ex." They both said hello while I pulled April's chair over to face the window so she could sit across from Sean and I would have a view right in front of me. "April, I haven't seen Sean here in a few years. We used to play in tournaments together. We kind of lost touch. And recently I had reason to reach out to him, as friends should, as something has happened that I believe requires his attention." Sean nodded, but other than the previous greeting, he remained silent. "Thank you for coming, April," I continued. "You mentioned several times that you wanted us to remain friends after you found the new love of your life. I have my doubts, but circumstances, including my meeting with Sean today, have encouraged me to try to see how that might work. I'm still terribly angry about what happened, but it is what it is. And if you can avoid talking about it or our past, we can see if there's anything here to help continue the friendship." "Carl, I'm sorry things turned out the way they did, but—" April started to say, but I gestured for her to stop. "Please stop, April," I objected. "We're not here to reminisce, and talking about it isn't going to make me more open to friendship." I smiled, trying to lighten the mood. "Besides, Sean probably doesn't want to get into that kind of discussion either. He has enough on his mind as it is. I did invite him to sit with us until his wife was ready for him to join her. So, April, how are you doing?" April's initial frown was replaced by a smile at that question. She lost most of our mutual friends when she ceremoniously dumped me and moved in with her other half. "The situation is improving. The job is about the same, and we're starting to settle into our apartment." She shuddered. After pausing to see if I would speak up, she continued. "My parents and sister aren't warming up to me at all, but they'll be happy to hear that you've reached out to me and we're at least talking. I know my dad misses you. How are you doing?" "I miss him too. Please give them my best wishes. I don't feel it's appropriate to address them at all, but maybe time will change that." "Next," I continued, "I'm doing more or less okay, although a little unsettled in most aspects of my life. So I'm trying to get back into other activities. For example, I happened to run into Sean's wife the other day, after which I contacted Sean. We may be just acquaintances now, but we used to be friends once upon a time. You know me, I appreciate a good, honest friend that I can count on." Saying that, I hoped a smirk didn't appear on my face. Suddenly, Sean spoke up. "Yes, although we kind of lost touch with Carl a few years ago, and I'm sorry about that, but that often happens as we dissolve into our families. I've had so many fake friends over the years, it's nice to know that there are people who care enough about you to do the right thing. And April, I think I can be that kind of friend to you," I uttered, pointing out the window. Across the street, Sean's wife and the new love of his life, April, were kissing as they entered the boutique hotel. Sean had already jumped up from his seat and rushed to the door, running across the street. I don't think Sean and soulmate, the love of April's life, could ever be friends. April awed and looked back at me. I stood up frowning, and as I was about to leave, I sighed. "This might be the last thing I ever did for you as a friend. I didn't like that at all."